Hey, Assalamu alaikum. The energy crash also lose your money by the investing of too much carbohydrate. So let's understand about through the notes how it is possible. So we will understand through the notes. So basically here is the notes. We will understand through the notes which are showing the screen. So basically first of all here is you can see the diagram. For example, whenever you will intake the carbohydrate. So in this way, whenever you will intake the carbohydrate, basically it will spike the blood glucose level. And in this way, the blood glucose level when spiked will also spike the insulin level. In this way, the insulin will increase is known as the hyperinsulinemia. But anyhow, this hyperinsulinemia which that target the specific tissue to open the extra glut channel. And in this way, the more and more glucose drain into the tissue. And in this way, the glucose level will drop in your blood circulatory system. It is known as the hypoglycemia. Hypo means the low, glycemia means glucose in the blood. So in this way, it will extra glucose enter into the muscle, into the fat, adipose tissue, as a storage, and also into the muscle and into the liver. And what will be happen? Let's understand about that. Basically, you required little amount of the glucose by the opening less glut channel by the buffering of the insulin. But this will not happen, and in this way the problem will be occur. So in this way the problem is the fat accumulation increase while the blood glucose level when drop will lead to hypoglycemia, and in this way you require more and more glucose. Remember one important thing is that whenever you will intake the glucose, so your brain will feel the pleasure due to the production of neurotransmitter like dopamine and serotonin, which that give the pleasure and relaxation. But in this way, the blood glucose drop ultimately will basically give the signal to the brain to activate the sympathetic nervous system. In this way, the cortisol level will be increased. The cortisol hormone means the stress hormone. So in this way, the stress hormone will lead to hunger more and require more carbohydrate for positive feedback mechanism. In this way, your body will learn the relaxation, but your body will not learn how to relax. Basically, it will lead to energy crash because the extra glucose will convert into the fat, and that fat is not usable at the current time, but it is usable during the fat loss goal. For example, the fasting, the ketogenic diet, and the exercise caloric restriction. So anyhow, the more carbohydrate, let's understand about that. Whenever you will eat, so more carb eat to more insulin spike, and in this is the more dopamine, dopamine release, and in this is the more bicarbs to feed body with carb to suppress hunger, and chain will continue. In this way, your desire will increase. Your stress, basically, you want to decrease the stress, but the chronic stress will lead to trigger the depression, anxiety, stress, because this is the energy crash cycle. So anyhow, in this way, you will invest more money for buying the carbohydrate, but the carbohydrate is the nutritional less. So in this way, you will feel many problem like different type of disease like autoimmune disorder, magnesium loss, diabetes mellitus, and the brain fog, dementia, memory loss, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson disease due to the overproduction of the dopamine. Anyhow, the dopamine fasting can be triggered due to the suppress the dopamine release by the less eating of the sugar, even the fasting. The energy crash, the more eating sugar to crash energy due to spike insulin, which buffer the growth hormone. So in this is the growth hormone when buffer, which that will lead to basically what will be happen. Let's understand about that. The growth hormone buffer will lead to buffering of growth hormone, lead to require more protein because holding capacity lose. In this, the growth hormone is very important for holding the mineral, vitamin, and the protein, as well as the proteogenesis. In this way, your body will basically metabolize that all protein rather than the excrete through the urine. In this way, the urine will excrete more protein because too much carbohydrate is working on, and in this way, your body required to lose the carbohydrate extra if the pre-diabetic and the insulin resistance will lead to excrete the carbohydrate. In this way, whenever you will be lose the carbohydrate, so with the carbohydrate, a lot more minerals and water will be lost, will lead to cause dehydration. So the mineral holding capacity decline and energy crash require sugar, which is lack of nutrition. A more glucose product to wasting money. Many diseases like diabetes to invest insulin. So whenever you will buy the insulin for cure, so it will lead to glucophage, metformin also used will lead to invest your money, and this is a wastage of money. Vitamin absorption quality decline. In this you require the multivitamin pills, which that is heavy and more priceful. I hope it makes sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video for this. Allah Hafiz.